Turn off the music. Prende tu voz. Esto es Acapella, the podcast, hosted by DJ Frikiao and friends. Acapella.
So everybody's trying to do their due diligence, and but I definitely appreciate you coming on, my brother.
No, absolutely, Puppy. I mean, I got a lot of requests, but there's some people that, obviously, they ask and I'm about, and you're one of those people. You've always kept it 100. You've always been, supporter. A lot of people can handle, Jersey guys like us that we were just kind of like, que más ropa decimos como todas las cosas, but I appreciate that in people, especially in this business, and you know that to be true.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate it. Shout out to everybody connected on Instagram. Ya se están conectando todas las personas, and but like Frankie, what the concept of the show is, we're trying to do like a, estamos celebrando la carrera, la trayectoria, los éxitos de artistas, productores, just people in the Latino pop culture are our culture, and we see this being done in a lot of other genres, a lot of other cultures. So we just wanted to start and just kind of backtrack and just bring people who have made such a mark in our culture, and you're one of those people, man. And
I appreciate you saying that. I mean, it's still mind-boggling to me that there's a generation of people that say, man, legend, I grew up on your stuff. That's just wild to me. And I mean that humbly. I mean that sincerely, because that's the kind of stuff I used to say about others that came before me.
Yeah.
So that's really dope to be able to hear that.
Yeah. So like I said, te doy la oficial bienvenida a este humilde podcast, y ya te puse la mano, but I'm going to clap myself because, to me it's an honor to have you here, and we're gonna get into a nice candid conversation. I'm drinking
Absolutely.
water. I'm drinking water.
You got your water ready to go.
Tranquilito aquí, and a lot of people from Brick City are checking in here, shouting you out.
Brick City, Newark.
Yeah.
On raised.
So Frankie, let's get into how did you get it? How did you fall in love with music? When did you make the decision to become an artist?
There wasn't a plan. There wasn't. My parents had a plan B. I never had a plan B. For as long as I can remember, this is what I wanted to do. Quise ser artista, quise ser cantante. There's videos of me 3, 4, 5, 6 years old where I'm like making like I'm playing a piano. I'd lie to you if I said I wanted to be salsero. I listen to everything.
Yeah.
Growing up in New York, de la salsa, al merengue, a bachata, en lo que es lo latino, al pop. Luis Miguel se escuchaba mucho en casa. Camilo Sesto, all that classic stuff. Pero también, being a North guy, I listen to a lot of that old school hip hop.
Yeah.
I'm equal parts to all those things. So it's funny that you say that, because, people to this day, they meet me and they're like, espérate, pero que Frankie tiene como que un poquito de calle. Like, he's a little hip hop,
Got a little foot in him.
When you think of a salsero, you think of island, you think, people cut a little different. Pero, I'm just, that's who I am. And I'm not going to deny that those were my influences.
Yeah. How did you get into salsa? What was the first time that you started?
That's a great question. I was a teenager. My parents always me apoyaron, right? Entonces I have a younger sister que también tiene talento y canta y baila and everything, and I might have been like, I don't know, my sister might have been like 5, 6 years old. I might have been like 15, 16, and I had already been singing. I was singing in high school. I was part of a group, 4 African American gentlemen and myself. We used to call each other Bass Harmony.
Yep.
And we were doing a lot of Shy, Boys to Men, a lot of the old school doo-wop music. And I went to Arts High.
Yeah.
Arts High School in Newark, so shout out to Arts High.
Shout out Arts High.
Shout out Arts High. Entonces, mi hermana was involved with a lot of the Puerto Rican Day Parade stuff, like Miss Nina, Miss this, Miss that. Long story short, my parents, along with Linares, who used to run the parade at the time in Newark.
Damn, you took me back right there, bro.
Yeah. You see that? My background started getting a little crazy.
Nah, it's all good.
You still see me? Or
yeah, I see. I see. Nah, I got you. I see you right there.
Yeah, no, I'm on my phone. So technical difficulties, my stand fell over a little bit. But anyway, so, you know, long story short, the way it happened with salsa was that I started getting more involved with the Puerto Rican community, right? My high school days were very much an African-American experience, right? Because I went to Arts High, Martin Luther King Boulevard, you know, it was a 90% African-American school at the time. So through my sister living in North Newark and her being involved with the Puerto Rican Day Parade, I started saying, you know, they started offering me opportunities to perform for all the different events, los certámenes de belleza, Miss Puerto Rico is that, the festivals in North Newark, pero siempre me decían, pero tú no tienes nada de español, tú no tienes salsa, you know. So I started doing covers of Jerry Rivera, cuando Los Unicornios, you know, Amores como el Nuestro, Johnny Rivera, cuando parará la lluvia, you know, Tito Nieves, stuff like that. Even Mark Anthony, like from his first album, I did a couple, you know, again, teenager, right, 16. And that's how I started getting the feel for the flow of what it is to sing salsa.
Wow. And then you started, what was your first show like? What was your when did the transition come from you starting to get the feel of it, learning it, and then you coming to say a realization like, okay, I'm going to start, yo voy a ensayar ahora con músicos y ahí voy a...
Bueno, te voy a decir cuando bueno, y no miento, mis influencias fueron, mira, Víctor Manuel con ese primer disco, you know, Marc Anthony con el primer disco, otra nota, la India, ¿sabes? La combinación, pues todo lo de la combinación perfecta, Jerry Rivera, o sea, that's when I started realizing, wait, you could do salsa and it could be cool. You know, remember, there was like another like resurgence in like the late 90s, right, of la salsa. And I was still, you know, a youngin listening to it growing up. I mean, whenever I say these, you know, como son contemporáneos míos ahora, you know, they're like, Frankie, no lo digas así, you make me sound old. But the truth is that, right? I was in high school listening to them and, you know, singing a lot of their songs. And that's when I said, espérate, esto como que lo llevo en la sangre. This is something I could do. And I started falling in love with it more. And then, like I said, specifically with like Mark in India, you know, they started like doing stuff that had a little bit of like a more urban New York pop flavor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think that was like more? Do you think that sound was more like the Sergio George sound? Because I was having a combo the other day with somebody.
Sergio George sound. It's a Sergio George sound.
Yeah, that New York salsa, New Yorican salsa swag, and
yeah, that's a total Sergio sound. I mean, you know, obviously, you know, the artists have to have the talent, right? The artists have to come from a certain segment of the population to be able to pull off that swag, that kind of interpretation. So I'm not taking anything away from me or any other artist, but without Sergio, you don't have that sound. You know, and I tell this to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, you hear a song and right away you go, "Eso lo produció Sergio George," and it just has that songo, that thing where you go, "Coño, this sounds New York." You know?
Yeah. I agree.
And
I agree.
You know, and you know, anybody that doesn't want to say that, you know, it's, you know, that's their prerogative. But I'm of the school where the songs that I fell in love with, I was falling in love with the artist. It was later that I'm looking at the back, you know, back when you had the credits of the musicians and the producer and everything else, and I'm seeing this name Sergio George as a common thread, producing all these records that I'm loving, all these albums that I'm loving, all these CDs that I'm loving. And that's kind of like what was my introduction to Sergio.
Yeah. I miss those days when you could read the credits, man.
Remember that? You know, and you used to see like the little dedication that the artist would put, you know, as to who he's dedicating the CD to and what inspired him to do the CD. That was a really nice time. The tangible that you could actually hold.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I miss that.
And you almost felt like you had, like, por ejemplo, en mi caso, yo sentía como que yo tenía una relación con los músicos, con el que grabó, con el productor. Yo me recuerdo que había un tipo en que él masterizaba. His name was Robert Barrera, right? I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
So Robert Barrera, yo lo leía en todos los créditos. I'm like, I feel like I knew this dude. like,
no, y ahora que tú quieres hablar de eso, papi, antes las canciones, todos los CD, todo, tú estabas mirando la calidad de todo, ¿me entiendes? Entonces estamos viviendo en un mundo de MP3 y not to get too deep on the musical side of it, pero tú lo entiendes mejor que nadie.
Yeah.
It's like se pierde de nuance. Por más que tú le quieras meter los bows y los beats, it's not the same, and it's like, those masters of mixing, to hear it in the studio como yo lo escuchaba, y que it's just like ear porn, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
It was a beautiful time. It was a beautiful time to be alive, man.
Yeah. So, all right. So then now you start looking through all the credits. That's where we left off. You find out who Sergio George is. Did you? How did you and him link up? How did you and Sergio got together?
Well, that was fate. The everybody knows about The Secret and The Power of Intention and everything else. I mean, that's been beaten in this century, since the start of the 2000s, ingrained in us, right? But back in the 90s, nobody was reading none of that, right? There were just some of us that innately knew. So the way I made that happen was through The Power of Intention, in the sense that I started believing, I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So long story short, I already told you I started doing more of the Latin salsa thing a través de los festivales y lo demás. I was in a studio in West New York, New Jersey. Ironically enough, West New York is in New Jersey, the town.
Yeah.
Off of Ave and all that. I'm there, and I for the life of me, I can't remember the name of George Mena was the name of the producer in the studio that I was using, que en paz descanse. I found out recently he passed. But anyway, if we hacer una pista, this is before you could download them from YouTube, right? If we hacer una pista de las canciones esas que te mencioné,
yeah.
Las canciones de los salseros que eran influencia mía. So I'm there. I'm laying down these vocals para estas pistas, para estas presentaciones que yo estaba haciendo para that following summer, para los festivales. And I meet two gentlemen. I meet a gentleman by the name of Ciro Mederos and Pedro Gonzalez, two Jersey Cubans, businessmen. One was a lawyer, personal lawyer. The other one was a person that did remodeling, of all things, on the construction company. Y para que tú veas como fate happens, right? I'm there, I'm doing my thing, and Pedro Gonzalez, one of the two, at the end, like, he's sitting there, like, I don't know who this guy is, like, why he was there. I'm working with George en esta pista, and he comes up to me, me dice, yo conozco a Sergio George, y yo le voy a hablar a Sergio George de ti. Now, mind you, I didn't know Sergio at the time was a Jersey guy. He was living in Jersey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I just see him in all these credits. I'm imagining my man's, like a kid, like any other kid who was a teenager would imagine. He's like in Hollywood somewhere, or Miami,
yeah.
or at the very least New York City. So he goes, yo conozco a Sergio, y yo he hecho unos trabajitos para él, this and that, yo te lo voy a traducir. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So at this time, I had already graduated high school. I'm starting college. Seton Hall University. Shout out to Seton Hall.
Seton Hall. Damn, you bring me back to Jersey. Shit.
Yeah. I've been a Jersey guy through and through my whole life. So, so I'm there. I'm in my dorm, and I get a call to my dorm. My parents, I guess he tried calling my house. Is when we, remember landlines? People used to use those. So,
Coño.
And yeah, y mis padres me llaman al dorm con él en la línea, al Pedro González. Y me dice, te conseguí un audition con Sergio George para tal y tal día en tal y tal de esto. And I'm like, what?
The fuck? Damn.
That's literally how it happened. That's how I met Sergio. The story gets really cool after that, but that was the beginning of them introducing me to Sergio.
Now, pero ya tú tenías pistas grabadas y todo. No tenía nada grabado para algún demo.
Yo tenía pistas grabadas que eran inéditas, que otros productores, que otra gente habían trabajado conmigo, René Leiva también, Jersey Cuban. La comunidad cubana en New Jersey, I gotta give them props, man. They really believed in Frankie Negron before I was anybody, and I'll tell anybody that. He was a producer out of there who had produced songs for oh man, why am I drawing a blank? From like Rey Sepúlveda, guys like that, back in the day. And he had believed in me and invested in doing some work, some songs for me. He was a salsa producer. So ya yo tenía un par de cositas, you know what I mean, that I could like walk in with, you know, if he had asked me, like, let me hear something.
Yeah, so, que tú tenías por lo menos referencia para que...
Tenía alguna referencia, exacto. Tenía una referencia que si el hombre quería escuchar algo, lo tenía ahí. Yeah. Pero entonces, you know, but then I meet him, you know, the meeting does happen. And sure enough, I show up to his house in Teaneck. And, you know, I'm still skeptical. I'm like, man, is this a set of, you know, this dude actually live here? You know, it was a nice pad, don't get me wrong.
That Newark in you, right? That Newark in you, like.
That's Newark in me. That Newark in me is always like, me estarán joseando, you know. You make sure I'm ready to throw hands por si acaso.
That's how I am, too. I'm like, is this a scam?
Yeah. Is this a scam? Is this a scam? That's that North Jersey, that Newark, bro. Yeah. Entonces, el tipo, you know, abre la puerta and there's Sergio George and he's standing there and I'm starstruck because at this point, I know who the man is, and I'm just like, you know, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
yeah.
And anybody that's met Sergio, and I know you have, knows Sergio very well. He's a cut to the chase.
Yeah, very blunt, very like, dime, what's up? What you got?
Very blunt, cut to the chase. And that's exactly what he did. He's like, you're Frankie. You know, gave me kind of like a look, you know. Entra, come on. You know, I sat down. He's like, you want anything to drink? I'm like, I'll take a water. He sits down on the couch. Didn't even ask me to sit down on the couch. Like he was just basically like just feeling my vibe at this point, you know?
Yeah.
I'm standing there kind of awkwardly. I'm drinking my water. And he goes, ¿Qué te sabe en español? ¿Qué canta? And I'm like, yo canto de todo, ¿qué quiere escuchar? Bueno, cántate algo que te sepa. And I don't know why, for the life of me, I started singing like a Luis Miguel ballad song or something like that in español. I can't even remember which one. Or if I even remember how it goes at this point, you know, so many years ago.
Yeah.
Y empecé a cantar eso. And he stops me in the middle of it. No, para. You know, good. That's enough. That's good. He goes, follow me down here. I want to play you something. And he follows me down, you know, and I follow him downstairs. I go downstairs and the whole vibe changes. It's a full studio.
Damn.
Recording. Yeah, man, if you could imagine this. Full recording studio, and I'm walking in there, and I'm just like, now I'm freaking out. I'm seeing all the plaques. I'm seeing Mark, Nainja, Victor, Jerry, everybody on the walls, right?
Yeah.
And he's got his Grammy.
Somebody's saying in the comments, paradise. Like you must have went in on there, like it was paradise.
No. I'm like, I'm pinching myself. I'm like, is this actually happening? Now, mind you, at that point, I had already decided as a young man, as a teenager, you know, Frankie, stay the course. You're gonna make it happen for yourself. Right? And here's the moment. And I get in there and I'm seeing all this and, you know, and I'm seeing all this and he goes and he goes, have a seat. And I sit down and there's this big, you know, the leather couch, whatever. Never forget. And I sit down and he hits play. Like he plays some music and you'll never guess what I'm hearing.
What was that?
I'm hearing DLG No Morirá. Before anybody heard it, before it even came out. And he plays it, and I thought it was hot. I mean, obviously, we all know what that song did and what that song ended up being. And I'm listening to it, man, and I'm just like jamming. I'm like, yo, this is stupid, though. Like, this is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that's kind of like that was my first intro. Like, mind you, this is like 15 minutes in, because the man's like direct. Like there was no small talk. Like it was like he liked the voice and he's like, I'm gonna show you what I'm working on, you know?
Yeah. So now
there was no even time to process.
So he played you that record because when Fragancia was on here, you know, during that epic interview that we had, Fragancia él dijo que you were being considered to be part of DOG. Is that true?
That is correct. That is true. He actually offered it to me several times after that meeting, which is the reason he played me the song. And I don't know, it might have been a combination of the Newark in me following my gut, and also being a little bit of a cocky teenager at the time, again, being from Newark.
Yeah.
I decided to just follow my instinct. And I remember he's giving me the concept of the group. Like he again, people need to realize Sergio George came up with the concept of what DLG was going to be before there was a DLG.
Yeah.
DLG is Sergio George's brainchild, right?
Yeah.
And he auditioned and put the people together.
You mean it's not? You mean it's not Fragancia's brainchild? Wait,
it is not.
All right.
So Sergio tells me the concept is this, and it's gonna be like a reggae mix with, salsa, and the guys. I even picture like guys with like different color hair. Remember that? Like he even had that concept before it was even like a thing.
Yes.
Right. He had a vision in his head. Entonces his whole thing was, I hadn't met Huey Dunbar at the time. He goes, that guy you hear singing, and I was like, yo, that guy's voice is like ridiculous. He goes, that guy singing right there, he's doing background, singing for La India right now. A couple other artists, but specifically like he's been doing the background music for her, like coro, like doing, that's what he was telling me.
Yeah.
And I'm about to launch him. He's got a great look. He's different. He's Jamaican. I'm hyped for this dude.
Yeah.
And then he started telling me the concept, and he's like, we're gonna have some rappers, but I would love to have 2 lead singers. And what better thing to have these 2 urban guys? You're from Newark, he's from New York. Morenito, Blanquito. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how he was visualizing it, right?
Yeah. Wow.
It was, trust me, it was dope.
I didn't know this story, dude. Like people.
Yeah, don't know that story, man. That's something that we all talk about. Should it come up? Should the opportunity come up? But it's nothing that like the press or anybody even knew.
Oh, shit.
That was an actual thing, that I was almost part of DLG. That's how I got to meet Sergio. Because he was looking for a second lead singer for DLG. Like I didn't know going in, that's what was going on.
Yeah.
That's how I met him.
So te presentó la idea, entonces tú como que, what made you make that decision and say, nah, because here's the opportunity, here's Sergio George, y te está presentando la oportunidad en una bandeja de plata, and you're like, I don't know if I want to fuck with this.
I will tell you, yo no dije que no. Nobody, flat out tells, somebody like Sergio, who's a starving artist, no. So, he was like, he was cool. Sergio's cool, always been, but again, he's not for everybody because he's direct. He was like, mira, esto lo que hay is what it is. Let me know.
Very blunt. Very blunt.
Let me know. And I think he appreciated the fact that I was like, yo, I'll let you know, let's talk. I'll let you know, and he was like, at first he was like taken aback, like, what do you mean let me know? But whatever, but it was all good. So then like he called me, I want to say within that week, to go see the band. They were doing like a showcase to see him perform live.
DLG.
They were doing a showcase for different disqueras, right? And different promoters, but they were getting a behind the scenes of what this group was gonna be. And he had me in the crowd, and I guess he was telling people, yo, I'm tapping that kid. I want to do a couple more songs for the album with him and Huey and blah, 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 whatever, And I'm there, and I'm feeling it out. Again, living the dream. It was like como paraíso. And then after I left thinking, damn, I want to be a solo artist, though. I think I got talent to be a solo artist from jump.
Yeah.
From late. And, again, I don't know if it was God. I don't know if it was cockiness. I don't know if it was a, combo of both. But I told him, I said, listen, I want to be a solo artist. And it was like, okay, cool. Obviously had buyer's remorse almost instantly, because it wasn't like, oh, let's talk about a solo album. Or, oh, okay, cool, that's awesome. I respect that. Let's see what we could do. No, it was like, all right, cool. Hung up. I was like, did I just F up like bigly,
Yeah.
Like, what the hell did I just do? Like, you know what I mean? It just kind of blurred it out, what I was thinking. Yeah. Fast forward months, bro. I'm still in school at this point. I'm in Seton Hall. And I hear La Mega in New York,
Yeah.
And what do I hear? I hear No Morirá. And it's playing every 10 minutes at that point, just blowing up.
Damn.
Blowing up. And I'm like, yeah, I messed up. I really missed my shot. And not long after that, man, I got the call. from Sergio to say, you know, you ready to be that solo artist? You ready to work? And I was like, you know, trying to keep it calm, but I was like, you know.
And that came out of nowhere. That call just came out of. ¿Y qué tiempo pasó entre el tiempo de que tú le dijiste a él, I want to go solo?
Como casi un año.
Coño.
Like months, like casi un año. And it was like, you know, entonces, you know, by that point, I had already finished the other songs that I had already started with this other folks. Rene Leiva had produced like, I want to say 6 songs or whatever. So now I went in and I said, yo, I got these songs. He goes, even better. I don't have to produce a whole album. These songs are dope. So what he ended up doing was buying the rights, the masters to those 6 songs, and he ended up producing 3 songs on that album. Of course, those were the 3 most epic songs of my my debut album and the singles.
Yeah.
Which was Inolvidable, Hoy Me He Vuelto a Enamorar, and Si Cayera Una Gota de Lluvia.
Yeah.
Those were
Inolvidable was an amazing record, bro. Like, I mean, I actually have it here. I wanna actually touch on it, man. Because this record, I was listening to it today, man. I'm like, yo, this fucking song is dope, man. Like,
yeah, man, the song is.
So, and this is produced by Sergio.
Sergio.
Yeah, that shit is dope, man. A mí me gusta el break que tiene.
Yeah, break when it comes in right here. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that shit is dope.
Que tú eres cuanto yo soñé, inolvidable para mí. Me pareció otra historia que el tiempo se llevó con él.
Cuando esta canción salió, yo dije, no, este tipo, it was like, oh, who's this new dude? Who's this guy? You know, and it was a refreshing sound because ya estábamos acostumbrados a Marc Anthony, a la India, estábamos ya. So when Frankie Negron came on the scene, you know, like a lot of the DJs were like, yo, this dude Frankie Negron. So I'm like, yo, I was like, I know this dude. This is the dude who run around with Butchie. Oh, by the way, how did you link up with Butchie? How did you and him link up?
I had a deal already ready. I had a deal that they offered me, and I'm like, I didn't know I needed a lawyer up. I didn't know I needed a manager, right? And God had put all these things in my wake, right in my way, like ready to go. And then they're like, all right, who's your manager? You know, who's your manager? I'm like, what you mean? What's a manager? I'm a teenager, brother. You know what I mean? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I could sign solo. I was already 18 at the time, but, you know, still like a kid, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean a manager? Oh, you don't have a manager? Do you have anybody you could, you know, and instead of saying, you know what? No, I don't have a manager or whatever. Like, I was like, I think I should say I have one. Like, I do got a manager. I got somebody. So Butchie, I knew from back in the day from the
Club 280
Puerto Rican Day Parade festival days.
Yeah.
He was like a dude from the neighborhood. So, but I didn't really know him all like that. But, you know, he seemed like whatever, like a cool dude, like everybody, like I knew him, like I knew he was in the music industry or whatever as a promoter. And I basically went to him, you know, got connected through him through some people, mutual friends or whatever. And I said, yo, I got this opportunity. I got this deal linked. It's ready to go. And they're asking me if I got a manager. I ain't got no manager. And without even thinking or without even reading what I was doing or signing or whatever, again, being a kid, I inked a 5-year manager deal with them to say, and then I went back to them and I said, yeah, I'm going to connect you to my manager. Here's my manager, the guy I was talking to you about. Yeah. Without even having a manager from the gate. You know what I mean? And I kind of brought him in the last minute.
Wow. And I mean, and he was your manager for a long time because I remember him running around with you for a long time.
He was my manager when things got crazy, like from the gate. Yeah, from the gate when things were started to blow up because, like you said, it almost happened overnight for me.
Yeah.
Like I remember Tengo Inolvidable, man, just like months. It went from weeks to like months, #1 on Billboard. And going from nowhere to like other artists going, how's this kid that's nobody? Why can't I like jump over him on the charts? Que lo que está pasando, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, things got nuts with the single, and yeah. And then obviously, it was the age of 20 million salsa merengue clubs in New York and New Jersey.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So, and you could perform all of them in one night. Y todos se llenaban.
Yeah.
So, him being the Newark guy that he was, he had me performing quite a bit.
Yeah. And then how did that relationship with him, because you parted ways with him, how did that relationship end with you and him?
Well, it ended that I was ready to move on and leave and grow and go to that next phase. Not only like every artist, like every adventure, right, has the right to do.
Yeah.
But everybody that's looking to grow and expand does. Yeah. And so I had that moment of it's time.
Yeah.
And I tried to make it not personal. And, he made it personal and he got ugly and nasty about it.
As he does with everything, because I see him on Facebook going in on Luis Quintana and all these people.
I was just going to say, it's something that anybody that knows him knows. It's not like I'm defaming him.
No.
Everybody knows how he is. And, so he went there and got pretty ugly, pretty nasty. And it just kind of sealed the deal, right? Sealed the deal with the way he approached it.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm no longer that, 18-year-old, snot-nosed kid, right? I'm in my mid-20s and smart. And I was able to get out of the deal and make them go away. And, I've been blessed since.
Yeah. As a person on the sidelines that I was watching a lot of the people, especially being from the area, because we would see you a lot of the festivals, a lot of the shows. And, él era que te representaba. But then, tú sabes que people in the hood talk like, yo, they had a falling out, shit. Like, but I never knew.
You're falling out, right? Because it's funny because I've like I told you, not to get y'all, but like I told you, people grow, people move, right? People take different positions, different jobs. This is a business like anything else, right? And business relationships kind of take different stages, right? And like, for instance, my former manager from the last 7-8 years, like we're still boys, like we cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing where like, what do you mean I'm not gonna manage you anymore? You know what I mean? Like we're still dope, like we're still talk, because again, he approached it differently and we were able to part ways in a mature way. So, it didn't have to be a falling out, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it could have been an amicable parting of ways.
100%, because even fast forward to now, me and Sergio, we boys, we talk all the time, and I know there's not a lot of artists that still talk to him like that, like the way we do, like on a respect level, because people take the business side of it and make it personal.
Right.
I never did with him. Right. I never did with him. So this day we chill, we talk.
Yeah. Ahí está Tony Russo. Tony Russo. He's saying that he should have been he should have been your manager. He's in the comments there.
Yeah.
There's still time, Russo. There's still time, Russo. We'll work that out.
There's still time, Tony. You never know, But yeah, man. The blast from the past. Good man, good people, hustler in a good way, right?
Yeah. So all right. So then moving into that, and you kept doing music with Sergio. When did this song come out? Because this is like one of my favorite records besides Remolino, which is an amazing record. This is one of my favorite records from Frankie Negron. My personal favorite.
Oye mulata, sandunguera.
Ay, sí, mi mulata, con su meneo me levanta.
Yeah.
Ay, sí,
it's an amazing record.
Con ese swing me arrebata.
Ella no es trigueña, ella no es morena, rubia no es ni es blanca, tremenda.
Oh my God, such a fire song. You're listening to Acapella Podcast. Si están conectados ahora, we're talking to Frankie Negron, la leyenda Frankie Negron. Yeah, I mean, what was that record? When you recorded that record, what was the mood like? Because I all throughout this week, I've been planning for this interview. I mean, I got to ask him about this record because, and I know we're probably skipping ahead, but this record is amazing.
No, we all skipping ahead a little bit, but that's okay because that's one of my favorite records. That was fun.
Yeah, that record is dope.
Fun. It was so different from in tone as far as like the vibe of the song from anything else that I had recorded, and we didn't overthink it. See, this is what I'll tell you this is what all genius arranger producers have, and I include Sergio in this. they don't overproduce.
Yeah.
Meaning they let the lyric, the melody, the artist kind of flow within what they're doing, right? And it just kind of came together. You know, there was like actually the arrangement, el arreglo, la pista, como la quieran llamar, came first. Then came the song.
Yeah. It's
You
got
know,
like, it's got
and
like
it
this
was just- it was-
doo-wop sound to it. Like this
It does have a total doo-wop sound. It's funny you caught on to that.
yeah.
It's a total
Yeah.
doo-wop sound because I have that doo-wop influence, which is what I mentioned at the beginning that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
So it has that, you know, it has
Yeah,
that, you know.
it really does, bro.
Corner. Yeah, yeah. And then I was like, you know, it's funny. You know what I thought about? We thought about Bronx Tale. that song.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I used to get a lot that I looked like C from that movie, right, when I was younger.
Yeah. It's a great
so
movie.
if you look at the video, actually, for that song, I have kind of like that vibe going on, the Italiano vibe, with the hat and the leather jacket throughout it.
Yeah.
You know, the bella mulata Latina around me, the whole thing. So we kind of went that way because if you know, if you've seen the movie,
yeah.
you know, there's the little Italian kid with, and his
falls in love with the black girl. Yeah.
The whole kind of, that's kind of like where the concept came about for the song.
Yeah. No, it's bro. It's
and I made for a dope track and ahead of its time, man.
No, y tú tienes palos aquí, pero whenever I hear this record, I'm just like, yo, este disco it's an amazing record. I mean, you got
it really is. It's one of my favorites. It really is. It's so fun to sing too, like live.
Yeah.
And you see the vibe, and even the band's like jamming to the song whenever we're on stage.
No, it's an amazing record.
It's smash. Thank you.
So, all right. So let's talk about your acting. So when did your acting come? Because you did that play on Broadway with who was it? It was somebody. Was it Tito Nieves that you did it with? Or was somebody that you did a play with?
Yeah. No, the Broadway stint was with Rubén Blades, Ednita Nazario, and Mark Anthony, called the Cape Man.
The Cape Man, yeah.
The Cape Man. Funny enough, and again, you know how we're kind of jumping around timeline.
Yeah, we are.
That actually, I've had a very blessed life. That actually happened before I met Sergio.
Oh, it did.
You could even believe that. Yeah, that came before. No, the play came after.
Oh.
But the meeting of how I even got that gig came before.
No shit.
Like, yeah, you ready for this story? This is an awesome story. So, igual que la película, the major films from the big studios, they take years to kind of come to fruition from the beginning of the concept.
Yeah.
Broadway musicals and shows are the kind of work the same way. Now I understand. I didn't know that back then.
Holy shit.
So I'm a teenager. It's me and 4 brothers from Newark performing at this Jersey City place for I think we performed for like $500. We took home like a buck.
Yeah.
And doing all sorts of doo-wop, Temptations, 14 Karat Soul, Boys to Men, Shy, yada, yada, yada. And the promoter after the show says, I invited somebody that I know that I wanted Frankie to meet.
Yeah.
So of course, right away, all the other guys in the band are like, "Here we go again." Frankie. Everybody wants Frankie. So I was already kind of having like a little thing with them because it was like I was already kind of like the lead singer of the band. You know how it goes with groups.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That might be why I stayed away from the group thing because I had a kind of similar situation in high school.
That was smart of you.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm having a revelation on my own subconsciously, maybe that kept me from doing it. So, so I'm in this group called Bass Harmony, and we're doing it. And the guy's like, "Yeah, I want to meet you guys, but Frankie, why don't you come over here and you meet him?" So we get backstage, and standing there is Paul Simon and Garfunkel, legend.
Damn.
Like
shit. I mean,
exactly.
Paul Simon, bro.
Water. Me and Julio down by the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could call me out, and I'm just like,
yeah.
What? And this is before Sergio. Like, I already was blessed.
That's amazing, bro. I thought that the play came Well, I mean, I guess it
Well, the
makes sense.
timeline of the play, exactly. That's why it's cool. There's these interviews, right? Because I feel like people always ask me the same questions and they never kind of timeline it, right?
Yeah.
Because the timeline is where the story is. Because the play, my relationship with Paul came before Frankie Negron, the artist, the singer, got discovered.
Yeah.
So I'm legit in high school, like, you know, freshman. I'm 13, 14 years old at this point. And I'm being like brought in town car and black Escalades to the city, to Times Square, the Brill building, to record these songs with Paul Simon. And I'm singing all these original doo-wop songs, not knowing what I'm recording for.
Yeah.
Which later became the songs that Mark Anthony actually ended up learning for his lead role in the play. He learned them off of my voice. I was recording the demos. I didn't even know it at the time.
Jeez. Bam. Wow. Entonces tú fuiste como la voz guía.
Yo fui la voz guía para lo que Mark se aprendió de las canciones, que él terminó cantando en la obra.
Damn. So, all right. So speaking of Mark, right? Cuando salió Frankie Negron, había como un like a chatter. You know, había mucha gente hablando que este es el próximo Marc Anthony, que este tipo, que, you know, there was a lot of that.
Yeah. There was a lot of that.
Did you feel that was? Did you feel that expectation, and you felt you had to? It's like a two-part question. So, how did that make you feel? You know, okay, I'm Frankie, I'm not Mark. One, and two, cuando estaba en el estudio, did Sergio make you also kind of like, you know, Markish? You know, did he kind of say?
Yeah. No, I absolutely. I would say, especially a little bit when it came to like the earlier stuff, right? When it came to the earlier stuff, because at the end of the day, we have very similar upbringings, right?
Yeah.
He's urban New York. I'm urban Jersey.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a little more pop in his delivery vocally. I'm a little more urban in mine. But the tone and the story and the way we grew up is very similar. So I think the soul behind our music and our interpretation has a lot of similarity when it comes to that. But my tone and who I am artistically is very different. But I knew in the beginning, for the layman ear, I kind of knew going in, I might have a lot of that comparison.
Yeah. Because
we do have the same arranger. So you're going to have the similarity en los arreglos.
Claro.
Y a ver, we grew up in very similar experiences, right? So a la hora de interpretar, you know, there might be some overlap. So I was prepared for that. But I also knew that given time, I'd make my own lane and people will realize that in no way am I trying to be a copy of Marc Anthony. Because as you know, without naming names, there came a billion, you know, Marc Anthony, you know, 2.0s and 3.0s in the late 90s, early 2000s that are no longer around.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've always, you know, people always ask that and people always comment on that. And I wanted to know what your take on it was. And
yeah, listen, my take on it that, you know, no me están comparando con alguien que no tiene voz.
Claro.
You know, están comparando con un grande intérprete. Un hombre que cuando canta lo siente del alma.
Yeah.
You know, so if the comparison was, aquí está esta chamaquito que está cantando, que canta con cojones, que mete las notas y que le mete el corazón a todo, then I welcome the comparison.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I think that makes total sense. And because, you know, some artists ellos lo toman como del otro lado. Like,
bueno, lo tomas personal porque yo te voy a decir una cosa. El artista intuitively, instinctively, and by nature and culture, el ego es quien guía.
Yeah.
Pero no digo que yo no tengo uno porque todo el mundo tiene algo de ego. Pero I've always tried to keep my ego in check and try to put myself in the shoe of the question.
Yeah.
And the of where he's coming from instead of getting all like, what you mean I'm my own man, you know? Because I think legends and original artists and people that have their own voice don't have to say they do. They just show it.
Yeah. Did Mark ever approach you, and Mark ever
Oh yeah.
kind of gave
Oh,
you
yeah.
the big brother, hey?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. I give Mark all the credit to this day, and we're still cool.
Yeah.
Mark was like, he made it. Here's where things start to come full circle. Then, right? Now I meet Sergio. Now I do the album. Now it's number one. Mark was taking a break. I come in, boom, blow up. All this is going on. Now the plays are ready to go on. Now I've never acted in my life, but because I did all these things, and Paul Simon is the dude behind it, and I'm Paul Simon's boy, pretty much like his stepchild at this point, his adopted kid, says find a place for Frankie in this play. And lo and behold, now I'm in rehearsals. Now I'm meeting Ruben. Now I'm meeting Mark Anthony, and I'm meeting Anita. And now we're all in the same room. By this point, Mark knows me.
That's
from
so dope, bro. That's so dope.
And he took me under his wing. I remember we were still in rehearsals for the play. Play hasn't even dropped, and he's selling out Madison Square Garden, and he brought me out to sing "Y Hubo Alguien" with him at Madison Square Garden.
Damn, what was that experience like?
That was an amazing experience, except that it was from his new album at the time, and he barely knew the song. I definitely didn't know the song because I wasn't even on radio yet. So he sends me the song to learn it. I still don't know it. And this is where I learned the trick from some artists. When you have so many songs and so much going on and tanto éxito, and you're doing big arenas like that you kind of cheat. Sometimes they even have it up like a projector on the ground.
Yeah. I've seen that. I saw that in the Michael Jackson, in the documentary, que le ponían los papeles abajo para que él se
Le
recordara.
ponen los papeles abajo para poder leer la letra, porque si de momento te traba la letra.
Yeah.
So I learned, in that moment when you're just like, and you take that feels and you're looking down, you actually read to remember. So
yeah.
So I did that with him, and the thing is, melody is a lot easier to learn right away than melody is a lot easier to learn than
the lyrics or whatever.
The lyric, right? So the melody I caught like right away as a musician, and then he helped me with the lyric, and that was that.
Damn, I should have that. Yo, that was. I didn't. That was. I always wanted to. I personally always wanted to know how you and Mark meet, and then.
Yeah.
But now, okay, so then pasamos to your second album, and you're still with Sergio.
Yeah.
And now you're touring, you're going all over the place, you're te estás moviendo para. Now, when did your tenure with Sergio end?
My tenure with Sergio ended as a lot of things end. They kind of just run their course.
Yeah.
Right. And again, it was my decision, and I think it was one of those things where he respected it. I remember I was visiting my family here in Miami before I officially moved back down.
Yeah.
And I got the call from him to say, Frankie, I'm ready to do another record, but there's hardly a budget. Salsa's down. Things are starting to lean towards reggaeton and bachata and all this other stuff. So I said, all right, well, what's the budget? And he told me what the budget was, and I felt a little insulted. Not by him. The budget wasn't
by the number. Yeah, by the number. You just felt like some type of way.
I just felt a certain type of way. And, it was never, again, that's what's called separating business and personal, right?
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, Papi, I know this is, I appreciate it. I appreciate you telling me this is what the budget to do an album. But I'm going to tell you right now, if this is the full budget to promo, to produce, to do all this, basically they're telling me, they ain't believing that, doing a new album, is kind of worth, investing at this point in me.
Yeah.
At least, obviously I ended up doing other albums after that, but the Sergio piece of it ended with that, where I told him, I said, thank you, but no thank you. I think it's time to move on and get a different deal.
Yeah. Okay. Now, do you, at this point, and it's, I guess, fast forward to today, would you work with Sergio again? Would you do any?
100%. 100% of it. We're actually. I mean, you can ask him this. We're actually talking about doing something. We're actually thinking about, not thinking about. We're in the works of working something.
Nice.
You heard it here first.
So we're gonna have new. That was my next question. We're gonna have new music from Frankie Negron.
You're gonna have reinterpretation of the classics with the possibility of some new music, but definitely that's what I can say about that.
Coño, qué bueno, qué bueno. I think a lot of the people, a lot of us are waiting for not new music. So otra pregunta, Frankie, because I've had a lot of people on here, merengueros, he tenido aquí programadores de radio, and we've got into this whole conversation with merengue, and I had Alex Sensation on here. I've asked him about the salsa, tropical music. What do you think right now? Salsa, tal como merengue, bachata, all the tropical genre is taking a beating to urban right now. And what do you think that needs to be done in your perception? What do you think is lacking para que la salsa, merengue, bachata, la música tropical, it resurges and has the support of major media outlets like radio, television? Because, I mean, let's just keep it 100, bro. Like, I feel that, en la radio hoy, lo que se escucha es Marc Anthony, Romeo Santos, and everything else is reggaeton.
Urban.
So, so how is it, how is such a salsero like yourself with so many hits? I mean, I'm looking at my screen, bro. So many hits. I mean, you got so many hits. And ¿qué elementos le falta a un artista como tú? Que now you come back and you say, I have Sergio George as my producer. I have this. Great record to produce. And the support como que no está presente. What do you feel that's where the state of tropical music is today?
Well, I blame us all. I blame everybody. I blame the system. And I'm not bitter about it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna state a little bit of a historical fact, in that the only place that this became the truth is when it comes to Latin.
Yeah.
You look at mainstream English, Anglo radio, even urban African American radio stations, and you have a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You can still have your Chris Browns along, right alongside your the babies. You know what I mean? You can have an Usher make a comeback. In the Anglo mainstream, however you want to categorize it, pop world, you can have a Taylor Swift start as a country artist and then migrate and become a pop artist and then go back and do a country song with the Dixies Chicks, what she just did, and have it be a hit.
Yeah.
I say all this because I need everybody to follow me on this. In the Latin media / radio side of things, everybody jumps on what's the hottest thing in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Everybody.
Agreed.
And everybody decided it was better to jump on what was hot than to make sure that diversity and quality within our own music is retained.
Yeah.
And they turned and blind. And when I say they, not to sound like some of these political folks that everything is the day. I'll specifically mention who the they are. The they is the consumer, is the radio programmers, is the people at the top. It was the record labels. It was the artists themselves. Yeah. Because a lot of my fellow artists from bachata, merengue, and salsa and everything else, and pop, I think they panicked too soon. I think they said, "Oh my God, look where radio's heading. Oh my God, look where the consumers are heading. Oh my God, look at what's hot right now on the radio.
Yeah.
Let's jump ship," and started inventando and started leaving their bread and butter and starting to doing some things that you just go, why'd they record that? Why did this person do this?
Yeah.
Trying to sound a little more urban.
Yeah.
And I blame all of that. And there was a window. There was a window to be able to get merengue, bachata, and salsa back. I don't think that window's closed, but there was a strong window to kind of shift it and realize that it's not one or the other. or one of the other three. There's room for everything. As a matter of fact, it just makes for better radio. It makes for better house parties. It makes for, you know, and the ironic thing is that all these urban acts or reggaetoneros, however you want to perceive them or call them, or traperos, they all listen to all this classic salsa, merengue, and bachata. They all love it.
Yep. It's funny
They
because
don't understand why it went away themselves, because it wasn't them. They were creating their own lane.
Yeah.
And everybody started pushing in and wanting to get in their lane and turned it back on everything else.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that, you know, that conversation is and I definitely want to hear it from somebody like yourself, because we've had other people on here and we've spoken, pero, you know, and people say, oh, friqueado, you talking about merengue and it's that merengue is dead. Pero no es solamente merengue, es la música tropical.
La música tropical en general.
Yeah.
Pero te digo, you know, vuelvo y te digo, lo interesante es que yo no estoy hablando teoría, yo estoy hablando en serio, estoy hablando algo que está probado, requete comprobado. Friqueado, yo sé que tú lo conoces muy, muy bien.
Oh, no, pero ya eso...
Centro, Sudamérica y en Europa. Al igual la radio, a que el muchacho de 25 años te escucha un Jerry Rivera que te escucha un Balvin.
Yeah.
Y todos escuchan en la discoteca y todos se lo gozan completamente. It's never been a one or the other. It was here where they created this the powers that be created this well, now the shift has to go here, screw everything else.
Yeah, I just think that, you know, when I have these combos with these people, they're trying to say, here's what los programadores que estaban aquí, XM, Mega, they are saying que no existen relevos en la música tropical. So there's no new artists, there's no, and the existing artists aren't coming out with new stuff.
I can send you a ton of tracks that I've recorded, and I can send you a ton of artists that are doing bachata, merengue, and salsa that are new artists.
Yep, I agree.
That's a cop-out answer.
It is.
And they know it. And they know it.
Yeah, so you know
what they don't see is revenue in it now because they themselves killed the market for it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where things are at. I mean, it is what it is. Again, I'm not bitter.
Yeah.
I'm just stating facts. You know, some of the artists may be bitter about that. I'm not. You know, I realize, you know, what it is right now. I could either go hide behind, you know, under a rock or get pissed, or I could, you know, do something about it and make sure that I let my voice be heard and continue to do good music and then see where it takes me. You mentioned Romeo and Mark. One of the genius things that the people around them and themselves did is that they saw the writing on the wall. They had a vision of where the tropical was going. So they were able to rebrand themselves not as bachateros and salseros. Cuando tú piensas en Romeo Santos, tú no dices el bachatero Romeo Santos.
Yeah.
Tú dices el artista Romeo Santos. El brand Romeo Santos. Lo mismo como Mark Anthony. If they carry the branding, unfortunately, de salsero bachatero, they'd be in the same boat.
Yeah, man. You know,
don't get me wrong. I have a market. It's just not, you know, Miami, New York these days. It's, you know, Central South America and Europe.
Yeah, esos artistas, yo te digo que y cada vez que se hacía la pregunta y se pregunta, no, que necesitan hacer fusiones. Well, this is another answer that the Alex Sensation said. He said that que si los artistas tropicales grabaran con los urbanos más, que la música resurgiera un poquito más. Como por ejemplo, si, qué sé yo, un Ozuna grabara con un Frankie Negron o un Alfa grabara con un Henry Jiménez or something like that, que por lo menos la música daría un poquito de giro. And you know, I have to disagree. I think that
I respectfully disagree, and I have a lot of respect for Alex. And Alex, again, is a friend, like a personal friend. Like
yeah.
But when it comes to that, I respectfully not disagree. I think it's more than that. I think it's what it is. Like, I'm not opposed to that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And yes, that might give some visibility. So yes, he's not wrong, but I would expand on that, right? Because then I would say Víctor Manuel did it. You know, I would say Jerry did it, you know, back in the day. You know, these are Andy Montañez. These are artists that have recorded Victor has done it multiple times with urban artists.
Yeah.
And we still have the genre where it's at.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not that by itself. That's something that can give you, if done right, if the song sounds dope, can give you visibility in that moment.
Yeah.
But, haciendo fusiones o haciendo cosas con otro artista, pero te fuiste como que al lado de ellos, I don't think it's gonna serve if you're trying to protect the genre from going extinct.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I look at Romeo's, Romeo's, how Romeo moves when he records music. Y una de las teorías de Romeo es que él no quiere hacer crossover. Like, he doesn't want to go and do a song.
Crosses that over.
Yeah, he brings them into the. Yeah, so I definitely,
and I think that was genius from the gate, and that's why Romeo.
Yeah, I think that definitely a lot of the people need to understand, like you said, the people at the top, from the executive level, from everything, is taking that music, because the music is, como dicen muchos artistas, I don't believe the music is dead. I just believe that they're jumping onto things that are going to be guaranteed. They're not a risk. You don't want to step out of the box for a little bit and say, we can go,
Exactly. They saw an opportunity when things were, where these kids were selling mixtapes on the street in Puerto Rico, and in New York, lo que se llamaba playero back in the day and everything else. And they saw potential to make a lot of money for themselves. Yeah. And they jumped on everything else to the side. That's all that happened there.
Yeah.
And it didn't be that way. I think there could have been, and again, I'll use the example of everything else, Anglo radio and urban radio, African-American radio. There's not one or the other. It's not like, they let go of one thing and jumped on everything else. There's room for everything. It was in our culture that we decided we were going to move away from one tropical genre to another tropical genre. Because interestingly enough, it's all tropical at the end of the day.
Exactly.
This all Latin urban is coming from the Caribbean. It's coming from Dominicans. It's coming from Puerto Ricans. It's coming from Cubans. It's coming from La Costa de, Centro Sur America. It's coming from the people con ese tropical feel at the end of the day.
No, viene de todos lados.
It's just another. Dile que bailando te conocí. Clave. Dile que no quieres ver. Tiene la clave. And I could go down in the list of reggaeton, urban songs que tienen la clave que you could turn to salsa mañana. It's not like it's all coming from the same place. It's a different interpretation.
Y tú sabes una cosa que es como tú dijiste, que los mismos reggaetoneros y los urbanos. Yo sigo a muchos urbanos, like a lot of Dominican urbanos.
Oye,
yo veo por lo menos, yo sigo una artista ahí que se llama La Insuperable. Y La Insuperable va a más bailes de bachata y más bailes de merengue que mismos bailes urbanos. And she's an urban artist. So I'm like, what? Like, they're consuming the music, so they're not telling you the music is whack. They're telling you the music is hot. So...
Maluma, Balvin, Nicky Jam, Don Omar, that I know personally, Bad Bunny, that I personally know, Zion and Lennox, that I know for a fact, they love, merengue, salsa, and bachata. I mean, like, love it. There's a kid right now hot in Puerto Rico, like, he's about to, he's still on the underground. He's about, in Puerto Rico, they know him big time, and in Mexico and South America, but he's about to go mainstream here. He's like a huge fan. Like there might be a possibility of a fusion or a joint venture or something that I might do with him, because he's just a huge fan. He's blowing up.
Yeah.
And, but again, the moral of the story is that they're salsero. Like, he's like, y él mismo me dice, no, yo quiero grabarte una salsa contigo. Déjate de ponerte a cantarlo, no quiero grabar una salsa, brother. Vamos a trabajarlo, como hablan en Puerto Rico, puñeta, yo sé que esta cosa no está con donde debe estar, cabrón. Tenemos que ponernos aquí para nosotros.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. And I agree with him. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I see somebody in the comments there. They're saying that collaborations aren't always necessary. Do you think now?
And they shouldn't be necessary. They shouldn't be necessary. Like, I get Alex's point, and I respect it, and I think there's nothing wrong with collabs, but I think it goes deeper than that. I think it's not just the collaborations. I think there needs to be a concerted effort by the media, by those who play the music, by those who DJ the music, to say, forget that it's Frankie, forget that's Gilberto, forget that it's Anthony Santos, Forget that it's Oro Solido for a second. Let's just see who's out there doing the new music. Let's see who's here still kicking it, who's still valid, who we could say we're going to invest time and energy. Time and energy doesn't cost money.
Yeah.
See that this is the great lie that we've created for ourselves.
Yeah.
If you really want to save something, you invest time and energy, and the money then comes, right? So the way I see it is this: okay, there might not be a return in investing in Tropical right now, but if you do invest on saying, you know what, these genres deserve to be around for the next generation because they dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, they can bring them back.
Yeah, I agree.
They'll bring them back, but then the person that decides to bet on it will make the money later.
Yeah, I mean, somebody on Instagram is commenting that. What about changing the lyrics to relate to today's days? But what does that really mean, though? Because what does that mean? That you have to sound urban for you to sound hip, and you have to sound...
Yeah, I don't know. I would ask him to elaborate on that. I do believe... I believe that melodically, there's things that I could do, and there's something that I've done musically right now with the songs that I'm working on currently.
Yeah.
To make it sound a little more like what's going on now. Now, I do believe that we're in a market right now where I can't get too poetic, right, with my music. I mean, I can, right, but I think the consumer has now been taught that everything has to be like, easy and in your face and direct, and there's no flowers or poetry to what I'm trying to say. Just tell me what it is you mean.
Yeah.
So there might be a middle ground with that, but I don't think I got to change who I am or start singing songs like.
Yeah, you don't have to sound. Yeah, you don't. Para mí,
I don't gotta go back, like, you know what I mean. I don't have to. I don't have to do it. I don't think I should have to do that.
Yeah.
Because if you think about Comerta Besos is very raunchy and sexy, and talks about sex and making love, but it's flowered up, and that's just the way I speak. That's the way I am, and I'm gonna continue doing it that way.
And speaking of, let's actually play that cut, because I actually like that cut. That this Comerta track is. This is one of your bangers right here. Like, this is
bangers. Yeah, this is probably the top one.
Yeah. Frankie Negron, Acapella Podcast. It's an amazing record, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Tanto tuve que esperar por ti. Ya he perdido la noción del tiempo.
Diablo, qué maldita salsa, mano. Ya, déjame yo bajar esta vaina porque I'm gonna start drinking, bro. And I don't. Today's Monday. Yeah,
it's funny when I dropped that.
Mira,
record,
la gente puso los fire emojis de que yo voy a estar. This is a really dope ass record, bro. I mean, you can't get.
No, brother. When I dropped that record, talk about the times changing, right? It was considered like, oh my God, Frankie, ¿qué tú estás diciendo? Que te voy a llegar muy dentro, que te voy a comer, with that pausa insinuando.
No,
if people had a crystal ball and were able to hear, what was coming, people would have understood.
That's a classic record, bro. I mean, a lot of people, the minute I play the record, people started writing comments, and that's definitely one of your. I mean, listen, but you got a lot of bangers, dude. Like. Yo, I'm like, yeah. I look at shit, bro. Like, this is another. Let me see this joint right here. I'm looking Princesa. This is another dope ass record. Another doo-wop type of sound. This record is fucking crazy, bro.
Llegó el amor como de sorpresa. Me sorprendió tu bonita inocencia.
Damn.
Yo no quería enamorarme tan temprano.
The melodies in this shit is
right.
Damn. Yo, this shit is damn. Well, what was making that record like? What was that like?
That was amazing. Well, that one has a little bit of a backstory. That record was supposed to be on the first album, and they didn't want it on their first album because they thought the song wasn't commercial enough. If you can imagine that. And by the second record, that's the first time I started exerting my artistic power and said, no, I want to record this track.
Yeah, bro.
This song, banger.
Yeah, that was a good decision, bro.
And it was the best decision I could have ever made. It was the biggest track out of that follow-up album, my second record.
Yeah, bro. That was a good decision, bro. It
was around the time I was doing the play, which is why it took that form.
Yeah. You see, like that's what I mean. Like when you have like, look, two of my, I like all the records, but like that doo-wop sound is a fresh sound. For salsa, it was like, oh shit, he's bringing that 50s or whatever, wherever.
Yeah. That was my biggest influence to this day, man. I love doing like going to little hole in the walls where people ain't gonna know me, and either like these small town USA, con gringuito, or like the old, African American folks, and just go out there where they have no idea who Frankie Negron is, so that I could just go in there and start throwing down these old doo-wop classics because I just love it. Every now and then I need my fix.
Yeah. And what do you think, like now, when we obviously get back to what do you think the state of this whole post-COVID thing is, as far as like for artists and performing, and because what does that look like in your opinion? I mean, obviously I've spoken to so many people. It's
in my opinion, I've always tried to be, and I think I've done a good job of doing this, been a half glass full kind of guy. Right. Yeah. So, I've never nunca me desesperado. And right now I see this as an opportunity. And people are going to say, right now, what do you mean opportunity? This is a reset button.
Yeah.
We're all on the same level playing field.
Yeah.
The artists that are going to survive are the artists that could offer more than just a stadium show with 50 million dancers and pyrotechnics and can actually sing.
Yeah.
Actually write and can actually play an instrument and can actually get on a live and engage an audience with not just singing, but with their mind.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are going to stay behind. And that doesn't have genre. That's just you as an artist. That's just you as an individual.
Yeah.
For us right now to do that. And that's kind of like what I'm doing right now, letting people know that I'm here and that I'm real.
Yeah. Tú hiciste en estos días, creo que fue no estos días, I think like a month ago, a couple of months ago. Yo vi un video de tú estabas grabando un video. I think you were like a rehearsal, like a rehearsal video. And,
yeah.
Coño, eso estaba cabrón. That shit was dope, man.
Rehearsal video, man. Just been trying to stay, busy. Obviously as the up and downs with the corona, with the COVID and everything else that's been going on, I've been kind of, mixed feelings. Like, do I continue to do that? Do I kind of, stay away? In my situation is a little different. In that, I've taken in my folks who are both a little older and they stay with me.
Yeah.
So I've had to be very, very careful, especially in recent, weeks and months, if you're going to believe everything you hear, So I've been kind of very, I haven't been a hermit, but I've been very, very careful.
Yeah. Like all of us. Yeah. I mean, I've gone out.
Like all of us, it's funny. I say, had they told people from the gate that they have to be careful because they can get sick, everybody be wearing a mask right now. But what the problem was, they said, you can affect people around you. You could affect those most at risk. You can affect the elderly. And I think you got to know your audience. And there's a lot of selfish people out there. And I think, people are like, oh, if it's just the elderly and those with, autoimmune disorders, I'm good.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. I wanted to believe better in humans as a whole, but I think that's what happened, especially in this country.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that goes on.
You're down in Miami now, right? You went
down in Miami. Yeah.
Do you feel like Miami ahora con los respeto a la música, no del COVID, con la música ahora creo que hay más oportunidades para grabar con diferentes músicos allá y para rebotar a Latinoamérica, porque yo conozco muchos artistas que se mudan para allá to try to, para como tener esa conexión más, ese trampolín, como dicen, a Latinoamérica.
No, definitivamente yo algo por ejemplo, algo que hizo Pitbull, que lo respeto mucho, regardless if you like his music or not.
Yeah.
I'm talking like his work ethic.
Oh no, his work ethic is fucking serious. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody works harder than, nobody worked harder to become Mr. Worldwide than he did.
Oh yeah.
And I got to live it and I got to see it because he's a friend. And I got to see him where he was opening up for me and sitting alone in a bar and people weren't paying him no mind, doing the same kind of music he's doing now. But he kept at it. He kept throwing stuff to the wall. Kept throwing it until something stuck.
And it did.
So, something that I learned from him. So that's kind of like the mode where I'm at right now. Quieren trabajar, vamos a trabajar. Quieren grabar, vamos a grabar. Quieren hacer esto. Hoping something sticks.
Yeah. There's a lot of talent out there, man.
Miami gives you that opportunity.
Lot of mucho música, mucho talento allá. Mucho talento. Yeah. So new music. Hopefully, new music. Are you working with different producers, or are you working particularly with one? Or
No, different producers. Different producers. I've been working with different producers, all independent, all slow. You know, I got a project also that I'm doing. Milo Rosado, Grammy nominated, winning salsa producer. He que tirama como una salsa gorda, so I have some salsa gorda that I've been working on with him as well. You know, just a lot of interesting things. Ricky Badilla, DJ Nasty, who's Khaled's DJ. I'm also doing some things with there. I got a song with Nori. You know,
Coño, pero tú estás trabajando.
Estoy trabajando.
Yeah. Y esto, mira,
ready to go. O sea, que te venga con el cuento que we need to do music is either not paying attention or straight up lying, porque we doing music. Yo no soy el único, todos estamos grabando.
Yeah. No, y yo creo que, mira, con esto lo del COVID y qué sé yo, y ahora es like you said, it's hitting the reset button, y ahora es también el que está trabajando detrás de las escenas, el que está trabajando, grabando, el que está produciendo música, el que está... Esas son las personas de que cuando esto ya se normalice o se ponga de una manera por lo menos aceptable para ya todo el mundo salir y compartir,
Correcto.
yo pienso de que esas son las personas que van a cosechar lo que están sembrando ahora, because there's a lot of work being done. And there's a lot of people who are just sitting back and not doing shit. So,
yeah. But I mean, you know, and you know, good for them. If you can afford to do that, good for you. But you know, I'm from the school like some other guys out there that I know are doing it that are just gotten, you know, creative and got into, you know, put pen and paper. You know, if you play an instrument, you get on your piano, you get on your guitar, whatever it is, and you write and you work. And that's the mode I'm in. I'm doing a lot of writing. I'm doing a lot of working.
nah,
I'm inspiring other people that are kind of like booing for the situation. Go, no. You know, maybe it's the Newark in me, but I'm like, no. You know, get your ass up. There ain't no room for that.
yeah,
You know
dope,
what I mean?
man. How do you like living in Florida versus living up north?
I'm having a tough time getting used to it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
You know, it's way different. Way different.
a little slower, right? A little slower down there than
A
up here.
little slower. You know, as fast as people think South Florida might be, it's still not New York. It's still not New Jersey. And people are always trying to slow me down a little bit. You know, like, I can't slow down. What do you mean slow down? Speed up, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a little frustrating. So that's taking a little, you know, getting used to.
Yeah. No, man, listen, man. I've been pondering the idea myself of just trying to relocate down there, and you know, I'm just like I'm always like,
It's gonna be culture shock, brother. It's gonna be culture shock. You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna miss it initially. Do you meet some amazing people? I'm not saying there aren't amazing people here, and the weather in the winter, you can't beat it.
oh, that's
You know,
that's
I'm
the
like-
key. Yeah.
Yeah, from like end of October to like, you know, mid-February, you know, it's like perfect weather. Now it's like hell hot, you know. You need to be in here in like 60-degree, you know, AC. If not, you're like melting outside. But, you know, the winters are just amazing.
Yeah. That's fucking dope, man. Yeah. Frankie, I'm gonna wrap it up. I think.
Yeah, I know we're coming to the end, but definitely I just wanted to thank you for this.
No, dude. I mean, thank you, dude. What are we talking about? You kidding me? This has been an amazing conversation. Mira, aprendí muchísimas cosas hoy que no sabía de ti.
Sí, son mucha gente que no se sabe esa historia y me diste la entrada y la oportunidad de hablarla.
Yeah. I mean, because a lot of shit, you know, I read shit. You go to Wikipedia, you read shit, but you're like, you know, I got this. Got to be the real story. We got to find out the real
I
story.
was just gonna say, mira, and there's always like the story, the rumor, and then the truth until you hear from the horse's mouth. So
Yeah.
it's pretty dope that I got to share it.
I hope that, you know, we get some new music from you soon, and that tú sabes que cuenta conmigo, cualquier cosa que tú necesites me tira.
No,
any new music, anything, bro. Tú sabes que está we go way back, so
way back. Jersey Newark days way back. So yeah, man.
Yeah. So but definitely, bro, thank you so much for doing this, and y todas las personas que están conectadas aquí. You have a lot of fans on here, man, connected on here, that are making comments, and your fans are always with you, and there's a lot of people.
I'm a love to because I can't see it now. Just disclaimer, guys, I can't see where you guys are riding, but you know, I know you're gonna be posting it and you're gonna have it up on stories. So I'll go through the comments and see what people are posting and respond and interact in a bit once you archive it.
Yeah, yo lo voy a poner para las personas que lo quieren escuchar en completo. Lo ponemos, esto lo voy a poner en YouTube y pueden escucharlo ahí. Y ahí le enviamos la entrevista entera. And but Frankie, thank you so much, brother. No te quito más tu tiempo. Sé que tienes que compartir con tu familia. So, I know we've been on almost 2 hours.
No, it's all good, man. I had a great time.
Yeah, man, yeah, bro. So thank you so much for doing this, bro. Y seguimos en contacto allá, tú sabes. Así que, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Frankie Negron, Acapella Podcast. Thank you so much, Frankie.
Thank you, my brother. Ya sabes, un hermano aquí, whatever you need as well. Aquí estamos. Y, lo que voy a decir es que lo tropical no está muerto, lo que está muerto de la risa, dependiendo en qué país tú te vas y consume la música.
Ya lo sabes.
So, it's a day here, possibly, pero mundialmente sigue fuerte y sigue bien.
Perfect. That's a great clause, man. A great close. Lo dejamos ahí ya porque ya mejor ya se daña.
Lo dañamos.
Thank you, my brother. I'll see you soon, all right, bro? Stay safe, man. All right, papá. All right, papi. Igual, gracias. Frankie Negron, ladies and gentlemen. That was amazing, wasn't it? That was amazing. Before I end the stream, thank you to everybody who's been supporting this project. This has been an amazing journey in this podcast. Y la gente está respondiendo con mucha energía positiva y mucho feedback. Este proyecto que lo comencé fue como en realidad para pasar el tiempo y estamos ahora progresando y entrevistando a diferentes personas. Tenemos a Sergio George, tenemos también a Nelson Proyecto 1. Yeah, I think we're going to close with a song, man. Fuck it. Let's just look for a record here. The one that I played for Frankie before. Amazing record.
Oye, mulata, sandunguera.
Ay, sí, sí, mi mulata.
Apaga la música, prende tu voz. Esto es Acapella, the podcast, hosted by DJ Friqueao and Friends.
Ella no es trigueña, ella no es morena, rubia no es ni es blanca, tremenda mulata, deliciosamente tiene lo.
YouTuber's gonna flag me for this, but fuck it.
Sí, sí, mi mulata.
Thank you so much, guys, for all your support. I appreciate that.
Ay, sí, sí, mi mulata.
You're now listening to Acapella Podcast, Friqueao.
Me arrebata.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Google Music, Apple Podcasts. Esto es Acapella Podcast Worldwide.
Esto es Acapella, the podcast, hosted by DJ Friqueao and Friends. Acapella.